Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're here previewing vehicles for an auction tomorrow, and we're looking at pickups, and we're noticing some rust, and we thought we'd show you what we're seeing so you can help yourself spot some rust if you need to. But oh, here you can see some
28
blisters popping here. They haven't broke through yet, but they will be. You also want to check underneath the doors in here, which that's looking pretty good still. Check front doors too. Usually you gotta rub the dirt off so you can look at it, but doors look fine on this still.
Yeah. There's rust on the plug. Can you see in the hole?
Yeah, it's just kind of filled with dirt.
See the rust on there?
But this one was fairly easy to see. Get the right lighting, you can see the bubbles.
This one's the same way. Not as bad, they're down low. There's one. This side ain't as bad.
There's just a few here.
Actually, this side's been painted.
That's what I thought last time we looked.
Yeah, this side's been painted, so it's probably been cutted.
Here. You can see on the inside it's completely gone. Yep. That rusted out all the way there.
But these drain holes are open. And these usually would be right in here. You can feel a little bit of rust starting. It's just really rough up here, but it's not coming through. It doesn't look like too bad anywhere.
Okay, well that's this chart. We'll see if we can find another one. Here you go. This is starting on the door here. See that? That's what you look for on the doors. The other two we'd looked at hadn't had any rust starting in the doors yet, but that's what it looks like.
Usually if you're looking for, if you look across and put a, I don't know how to, kind of a shadow almost helps if there's a little bit of a shadow. You can look for fine sand scratches, and a lot of times that indicates that there's some repair underneath, and you know that something's probably been covered up with body filler. So, but these seams are, these two inner and outers, they wrap down around and they weld together, and there's a trough in there, and there's no drain holes at all. So eventually they just get full of mud and dirt and rocks and salt and everything else that's on the road, and they rust out. The Fords rust out right here in the cab. Look at there, they put a plastic cap on that ear there. You know, Peter's truck.
Yeah.
It's rusting out. His cabs. But this one here, they've got a bead of sealer right here, but not here at the very end. But like he was showing you before, that little seam right here is where that moisture will get in there and lay in there, and then as it grows, it'll push, and sometimes this lip will be raised up, and it's because the rust is growing underneath and pushing it up. But this model Ford pickup here, it's a Super Duty. I don't know, probably 2000.
04 probably.
What are they? 99 to 04 or something? No.
06
2000.
They don't seem to
2000.
several of these here, and none of the beds are rusted out. So,
and a lot of that just is the pickup's life, where it's been, how it's been treated. That seems pretty tight.
here's a '04 Ranger that's coming through on the bottom side, as you can see here. Just picks right off. Down here on the rockers is pretty bad. Even up there, on all their spot welds.
Oh wow.
Every spot weld rusted out. Door's fine.
That's rusted out. Just had a bedside put on it. See, these welds aren't stock. That whole side's been put on. See here. There. Here's what
Yeah, that's
round dog.
That's the original stuff.
Is it rusty on the top?
Well, this side isn't rusting out like the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, rusty up here anyways. You can put your finger right in there.
Starting to on your door.
This door's starting right here. You can see the rust color, a little bit of orange there. So, usually front fenders only rust down here because up here is just a plastic fender liner, so there's nothing welded to it for it to rust there. So,
on a lot of the newer models, that's there's an inner fender apron in here that's a strength, and this here fender is just a skin, so it's just, it doesn't have all that inner welded in there to be an issue. But yeah, you can't always see the rust like he showed you on this door here. It's smooth out here, but if you ever feel little bumps out here, you look to the inside and usually you'll see that. You'll see this rust as it's growing. This seam will spread because it's growing in this little seam right here, the moisture, the salt, and so apparently as that rust grows, it gets bigger, so it expands and it'll push that metal out, and then it'll pop through the outside. But the rust always comes from inside. People say it's got surface rust. Well, can't really show you surface rust out here, but surface rust is when the paint's just kind of wore back and gone in the middle.
On that one of those Ford beds.
Oh yeah, but always be aware that you want to check all these seams if you're really serious. Look at the rockers.
Look at that bubble there.
Here's an example right here. As that rust grows, it'll lift and push like that. There's rust in these seams, and that's what's making that metal expand. Well, apparently the rocker panel on a Ranger won't ever rust out. Here's what we're talking about. It's like the front fender where it's just one piece of metal. See, it'll drain and it's always gets clean. Well, here's the cab corner. It wraps around and welds, and there's a pocket because there's 2 layers of steel here, so that stuff gathers in there, and then the rust will grow and push. But up here, this is just clean as a pin, just one layer of metal. You want to look at the frame rails. Some of these, the frames will get rusty. Some of the Toyotas are bad about rusty frames.
Yep. See on the rear fender, that's the 2 pieces that are welded together there. That's why they rust back there.
And see down here, it's single.
Structure here.
Yeah, where's the start here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this cavity from here around to here is the only place that would normally rust out, because it's the only place that would carry or hold your salt and stuff. This here's all single. This will drain out just like it will up there. Here's another example. Here's your seam, just like the bottom part of your doors. This is just on the lower part of the tailgate, but that seam is also starting to get rust in it. So, but always look at the wheel well openings, no matter what year. These are good. That's just
This is
really,
a 04 Ranger.
so this is a good example of, you know, what to, you know, you can just feel and see the bubbles. Of course, you know something's going on, but you always want to inspect there in the rockers and the doors, because the rust is always down low. And always watch for blistering, bumps in the paint. If you see sand scratches that look like they could be from, you know, a repair underneath, a lot of times if it's in the area where there could have been some rust, they've probably done some repair. So
Nice wheels.
nice tires.
Pretty nice interior. Looks pretty good. And then boom, rust. Look at that. Man, oh, that ripped right off. Just do that. Just tore that chunk off of there. Hasn't broke through yet, but there's can't get the camera focused on it. So. Yeah, you can see the bubbles and roughness along the bottom of the door. That's rust starting to come through. So, yep, look at that right there. So, yep, it's not just pickups that are rusting, so you gotta check everything.
That fuel video under there, I don't think the skin is connected to the end.
Well, they had Bondo in it before.
Yeah, I think there's been some. Those two layers aren't even pulled together. See it?
Yep.
On down here. But you can just tell right in here, it just starts separating like they didn't pull it together. Very nice. These doors look good.
Yeah, this one's not bad, really bad. That's why you gotta pull these moldings up and look under there.
This area right here is, if I run my finger along here, it starts getting really fat right here, because that rust is pushing out and making that all. So yeah, that's going to create an issue. There's going to be rust coming through the outside in just a matter of time.
But yep, you can't see it from the outside though.
Not yet. That's right in here. See that big old brown spot? That's going to be rust in the rocker right there, coming from the inside where you can't see it. It's the same situation. It's a cavity that's gotten corrosion in there, and the salt and brine and all that stuff just creates it's like putting that stuff in a bucket and expecting it to not rust its way through.
Ooh, nasty.
There, now see that example? This is thinner over here, and look how that pushes that way out. It's pushing that lip out. That's a lot of rust. That's starting to come around the corner on the outside. I can feel it with my fingers.
Yep, that's a little bumpy on the back side. Yep, can you see that? A little bit. Huh. Okay. Well, there you go.
But always check those pinch weld seams. That's what we call a pinch weld, or I guess guess that's not a pinch weld. The pinch weld's on the bottom of the rocker, but that's just areas to watch for your rust. And I'm sure we could show you the other side and it's about as bad. So anyway, doesn't matter the miles sometimes, it just matters where they've been.
Yep.
So.
All right, that's all. Thanks for watching.